Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Gooch. Today we're going to be doing my What I Want for Christmas, my G.I. Joe Classified 2026 wish list. Welcome to the Cobra Report. All right, just a reminder to please like and subscribe to my channel for more G.I. Joe Classified content. We've got a lot to unpack today. I've got a lot of recent reveals and rumors that I've gotten from some other pages. Guys, I have less than 500 followers. Nobody's calling me up with spoilers and everything, so I will give credit to the channels that I got this information from. Some of this has been confirmed from different channels and everything. So we already know the figures that we've got coming out at the beginning of next year. We've got Big Lob, we've got the Night Viper, we've got Lifeline, we've got one of my personal favorites, Hit and Run. We know we have the 2-pack of Taurus and Red Dog, which we know we have Crazy Legs, the female Crimson Guard, we've got Zap. We also know from a couple Comic-Con reveals that we have Zanya coming out. We've got a Hydro Viper, which I can't wait for. I was really excited about that one. And most recently, another reveal, we've got Deep Six coming. So that's cool. Deep Six, I guess, is going to be the classic first one that came with the shark. They're not doing the shark. He's going to be separate. So it's just going to be Deep Six, more of that like clunky. If you guys remember, he was very little articulation. I think it was just his arms moved. So I'm assuming with the classified line that they're going to add more articulation to him, but he's going to be the original. There are several versions of Deep Six, but right now, the one that they're going to be giving us is the original Deep Six that came with the shark. So I'm excited about that one. Honestly, he was one of my least favorite as a kid because of his lack of articulation, but I think they could really have a lot of fun with it with the classified line, so I'm really excited about this. Also, just released on, you can go to Hasbro Pulse's website on Instagram, and they're showing, it was essentially, we had the Hiss Fire team. So now with the Arctic Hiss, we've got an Arctic Hiss kind of team. So they've done basically a winter version of the Night Viper and the Saw Viper. And then we have a winter Steel Corps Trooper. I don't know how you guys feel about the Steel Corps Troopers. They've kind of become the de facto troop builder for the Joes. I think the helmet kind of makes them look like Ninja Turtles. So I don't have any of the Steel Corps. Not a fan of them, but hey, to each his own. So now, we're going to move on to some of the spoilers that I've gotten from a couple other pages, or a couple other channels. And guys, please check these out. I'm a big believer that we all scratch each other's back. So a lot of this I got from, and this guy's channel is Destro is my spirit animal. So please check him out. He's a guy just like me. He just sits there. He loves G.I. Joe Classified, and he talks about Classified. And also the controversial site that a lot of people are, whatever, Viper Island. I don't care if they steal stuff from other people. Just give them credit from what you do. I'm stealing stuff from everybody. I flat out admit it. I don't have the resources, so I have to get it from wherever I can. But give credit where credit's due, all right, guys? Some of this stuff I got from Viper Island. Some of it I got it from Dustro as my spirit animal. So thank you, guys. They put out great content. Viper Island, it's a guy and his kid. Like, don't be mad at him, man. It's a guy and his kid. Like, that's awesome. That's the dream that we all have, to be able to share our childhood joy with our son, or daughters. I have daughters, so they're not as much into it as I am. But either way, give them a break, okay? So let's move on to what the rumors are coming up. Some of these are a little weird. Some of these are really cool. I fully believe in every single one of these. I've confirmed them with several different pages now, from what I could see online, from a couple different websites or YouTube channels. I believe that all of these are actually accurate. So here we go. I've got some digital renders of what these could look like, and I've got some of the original figures here to either side so you guys can get a comparison, all right? So first up, according to Destro is my spirit animal, we have the water moccasin coming with a gunner. So that's cool. The water moccasin, Joe we've got air, we've got land, but we don't have any water vehicles yet. So the water moccasin would be great for that. I have a very strong suspicion that the HasLab is going to be the hydrofoil. That's just me. I have not heard any rumors about that, I just think it makes sense because they started first with the His Tank and then they went with the Rattler. So this is Cobra's year now. After doing the His Tank, they go every other one. So it only makes sense that we have land, sea, or land, air, and now sea. So that's my belief, is that it's going to be the hydrofoil, which is awesome because that was one of my favorite toys as a kid. Anyway, we've got the water moccasin coming with the gunner. I don't have any renditions of what that could look like. My guess is the gunner is going to be just another one of the Cobra troopers with slightly different deco. It's going to be a lot of reuse. But either way, awesome. I mean, that's probably, if you go around the lines of like the Vamp, it's going to be a similar size to the Vamp or the All Striker. So you're looking probably about $100, maybe $115 US for the water moccasin and a figure. This one is what I am most excited about if this is true, and I believe it is. Retro cardback Wild Bill. I was unable to get the Dragonfly. Sorry, I'm not made of money. $300 is a lot. I really wanted the Dragonfly. I went to the last minute and I could not pull the trigger. And honestly, I wanted the Dragonfly just for Wild Bill. I didn't care about the other guys that came with them. Night Force Crazy Legs didn't appeal to me. Wild Bill and the Dragonfly were the two that I wanted, but I wasn't willing to put down that kind of money. But Wild Bill, always loved Wild Bill. Just a great character, just so much personality and everything. So if this is true, awesome. Bring it on. I can't wait. Then again, according to Destro is my spirit animal, retro cardback Firefly. So we had the original Cobra Island Firefly that a lot of people didn't like, but I thought was a really cool reimagining of the figure. He had this big flak vest on, and he just looked like a demolitions expert. So they're going to be redoing Firefly. I'm curious if they're going to re-release that exact same figure, or if they're going to maybe do a hybrid between the Viper Island, or Cobra Island, sorry, and the re-release Firefly for the retro line. So it'd be really interesting to see what that one's going to look like. Okay, next one we have. Again, this is from Destro is my spirit animal. He says, according to his source, that a Fatal Fluffy from, the G.I. Joe cartoon show, which is this big, almost like Yeti looking figure, is going to be released. And I could see that. They're going with the mass device kind of line. So this would fit in well with, I would say that that's probably going to be a Target exclusive. And he's probably going to come with another figure. I don't know. Again, I'm going off of information that somebody else has that was given to them from an unreliable source. So I don't know. But Hasbro did release what looks like the foot of a Fatal Fluffy for some of their images, little teaser images. So I do believe that, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I do believe that we are getting that. And I would guess that he's going to be paired with some kind of figure from the cartoon. Okay, now we all know that Zanya is coming, but from Destro is my spirit animal, he says that Zanya is coming with a swamp buggy, which might be the chameleon, Zartan's little, whatever you want to call that thing, that he came with his original release, which makes sense because she is Zartan's daughter. And Hasbro has released teaser images of what looks like some kind of ski with some mechanization on it. So what exactly is that? That looks really close to one of the legs or skis that came with the chameleon. So again, where there's smoke, there's fire. It makes a lot of sense. This one now, again, we're sticking with Dreadnoks, Heart Wrencher, and she is supposed to come with a 3-wheeler. Now, that could be the Dreadnought Cycle. I don't think so, because the Dreadnought Cycle, with the size of the Dreadnought Cycle, I think that's going to price out a little bit. So I think this is going to be a newer vehicle, similar size to like the Cobra Ferret. Don't know. Again, pure speculation, going off of what I've heard from another page, which again got this from Destro's My Spirit Animal. So thank you, Destro's My Spirit Animal. I don't know your real name. I apologize. But thank you for this information. It was a fun show. I enjoyed watching it. So again, guys, go check them out. And Hasbro has been hinting at it pretty hard. We should be getting the Thunder Machine this year. Now, how much is the Thunder Machine going to run? So I've got it right here. This is approximately the exact same size as the Hiss tank. So if you look at the two sizes compared, you see they're literally the exact same size. The Hiss tank is a little bit taller. That's a little bit lower. So we now know the Arctic Hiss tank is going to cost $200. So Hasbro has said that the Thunder Machine is too small for a HasLab, but it's the exact same size as the Hiss tank. And we just did a Snowcat, and here's the Snowcat. So they're the exact same size. So the Snowcat with figures was $300. So you're looking, again, around $200. So the Thunder Machine is the exact same size as the Snowcat and the Hiss tank, which both cost around $200. So I'm not really sure why Hasbro says that this is too small for a HasLab, but I'm okay with that because this means it'll be available to more of us and we won't have to pay as much for it. So I'm thinking $150 to $200 range for the Thunder Machine, which of course is going to come with Thrasher, which I would assume. And he's going to have, he was a lacrosse player, so he's going to have his little lacrosse stick that's going to come with it. But I mean, how exciting is this, guys? I mean, what could they do with this? We've got the moving Gatling gun. We've got the jet engine coming through. So Hasbro could just have a field day with this thing and just go all out. I really do kind of wish that they were going to do this as a HasLab, and maybe they will surprise us and do it as a HasLab. I don't know, because why have they not released it yet after teasing it for almost a year now? I just don't understand why they've been saying for this entire time that it's too small to do a HasLab when, like I said, it's the exact same size as the Hiss tank, it's the exact same size as the Snowcat. But either way, this will be more available for all of us, and it should be slightly less in cost. So probably about $175 maybe with Thrasher is what we're looking at. But I'm thinking it's probably going to be about $200 for the Thunder Machine. So here we go. We've got Thunder Machine on its way, I hope. They've been hinting at it, so we should expect that as well. And finally, confirmed again through Viper Island and Destro as my spirit animal, Destro, Iron Grenadier Destro, and the Despoiler should be coming to us. I can't wait. The Iron Grenadier Destro was just one of my absolute favorites as a kid. He's probably in my top 10 figures of all time as far as the G.I. Joe line goes. Just, I love it. Just the black with the red. He's got the cape. He's got the little spikes coming off of the side of him, the gold mask. So, having told you guys all of this, we know a sizable chunk of what is coming for 2026. This is my 2026 wish list. So for Christmas, I want to know that these figures are coming out. So first off, I am a firm believer in symmetry, and Hasbro is terrible at symmetry. We have, if you have a Joe released, release his Cobra counterpart and vice versa. So we have multiple Joe firemen now. We have Blowtorch, we have Barbecue. Where's the Cobra counterpart? We don't have one. So first up on my list is a Heat Viper. All right, now we've got some balance to the force, if you will. We've got some symmetry. We've got fire with fire, fight fire with fire. So this is where I think Hasbro kind of drops the ball a lot. I think they would sell more figures if they kind of put them both in a line. So if you're going to buy one, you're more likely to buy the other one because they go off of one another. We've got Alpine. We've got Hit and Run. Where's our Rock Viper? It took them forever to finally release a Night Viper after years of having Night Force released, but they finally did it. But that Night Viper should have been released 2 years ago to go along with Night Force. So we're still waiting for a Rock Viper. We don't have a Mountain Climber for the Cobras. We've got several Wilderness Assault guys, but we don't have, our Heat Viper and our Rock Viper. Where's our Rock Viper? The Rock Viper has a odd helmet. It's kind of like triangular helmet. So I'm really curious to see what Hasbro would do with the classified version of the Rock Viper. They have made some slight tweaks to, the Saw Viper, who had kind of an odd looking helmet. So I'm really curious to see what kind of modern update they do for the Rock Viper. And that would look just great. The color scheme and everything would look really nice compared to all the other figures. All right. Now, for my Joes, Admiral Keelhaul. We all know they're never going to re-release the USS Flag, and for many of us, that was the only way to get Admiral Keelhaul. He would look great in the retro line. Give us an Admiral Keelhaul in the retro line. Please, Hasbro. I guarantee that's going to be one of your top sellers of all time. How about Rampart, the Joe Shoreline Defender? So they're slowly hinting at water coming out. So give us Rampart, the Shoreline Defender. He's got a great old school, almost World War II kind of look to him, where he's got the leather jacket, he's got the hood, the hat, the glasses. I think he would just make a great addition. Now that we have a female Crimson Guard and we have our, regular standard Crimson Guardman, how about Crimson Guard Immortal? This is, a release from the later years, or I guess more recent years, I should say, back when the line was starting to really kind of peter out. But he was one of the standouts to the later lines of G.I. Joe. And compared with the other two, would just look awesome, because you could have him on your shelf as like their commander, and then you could have just an army of female and male, Crimson Guardmen standing behind, and that would just look awesome. Okay, now a little much needed diversity. So let's have Hardball. The Joe's Grenadier. So we've got the Iron Grenadiers, and even though, none of them really have grenade launchers, Hardball would be awesome. He's just such a fun design with the baseball jersey and the baseball hat. And I was a baseball player, so, he's always going to have a special place in my heart. But that would be great. You can give him just this awesome grenade launcher. We don't really have that. We've got some bazookas, and we've got the Frag Viper, which is kind of a grenade launcher, but one of those big cylindrical things just shoot off. That would be a really fun weapon to add to G.I. Joe, and just a really fun character. So give us Hardball. Please bring on Hardball. Okay, next up, we've got Airtight. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they do him in the retro line first, because you could do a lot of really fun things with Airtight. You can give him, you could almost make him a deluxe figure if you wanted to, and add some kind of playability to that figure by adding, some canisters or something, and give him like an environment that they could put him in. So I think that would be a fun idea if they were to do that. Next up, Fast Draw. So they like to give us a couple deluxe figures every year, a couple Joes with animals every single year. So I think the perfect addition for another deluxe figure would be Fast Draw. He is kind of like the counterpart to the Iron Grenadier Metalhead, where he's got, the missile launchers on his side. He's got this really cool, futuristic, almost astronaut kind of look to him. And they could just do so much fun. Hasbro could just have a great time updating this figure for the classified line. So you give me Fast Draw, all new sculpt, whole bunch of loadouts. That'd be great for a deluxe figure. Okay, so talking about Joes and their animals, Spearhead and Max. If you're going to be doing the Desert Patrol, like it's rumored that they're going to do, Spearhead and Max would be great. That color scheme with, the tan with a little bit of like orange lines and everything would really go well to fit in with the Desert Force. So you could even maybe make him as a Desert Force, an unofficial, or make him an official Desert Force. And you don't even have to change the design for him. And now we've got our Max, which is, I believe, a Bobcat, which is nice because we don't have it. We've got a couple dogs. We've got, a boar. So give us a Bobcat. Well, we've got a Scorpion. Give us a Bobcat. And finally, this one I think would just look amazing. The first couple releases of this figure, I was disappointed in. Gung Ho in his Marine dress, like in his Marine suit, all looking proper Marine dress. That would be so, Hasbro could just do wonders with that. This would look so impressive. Just everything, they could just really hone in on the details, like on his medals on his chest, on the sword that they give him. The Marines always have the swords. This would be just, I think, a standout of the series, and I think instantly top 10 figure. Now, vehicles. We got to have a couple vehicles. I've been talking about water for a while here now. Give us a devilfish. The Joes don't have a lot of water vehicles. The Cobras don't have a lot of water vehicles. So we've got a water moccasin rumored to be coming. We need something to be able to fight that water moccasin. So give us a devilfish. We've got Wetsuit, which is, if you remember, the original devilfish was on the cover of it. And you've got Beachhead with them. So give us a devilfish. It's not going to be too big. I mean, the devilfish was, I don't know, probably about like 6 inches long. So you could easily probably be the size of the Cobra Ferret. So you're looking at about $75. Who do you include with them? I don't know. You could give us a new Joe, obscure figure from more of the later line. As I said earlier, I couldn't afford the Dragonfly. I couldn't afford the Rattler. Actually, I could afford them. I wasn't going to spend that money on them. My wife would kill me. But give us a Skyhawk. Give us a Cobra Fang. Make things more affordable. You know, not every one of us has this tons of disposable income. So a lot of guys that I've been talking to in the comments went from collecting all of them to now collecting just their favorites here or there. And I'm starting to go that line as well, where now I'm picking and choosing who I buy because the prices just keep going up. So you've got to make some smaller vehicles for us that still want to be able to collect, but don't want to shell out $300-400 for a HasLab, $200 for, you know, an Arctic Hiss tank. Give us something closer to like the $100 range. And I think a Skyhawk or the Cobra Fang would be perfect for that. They're just small enough, not a huge amount of detail on either one of them. Actually, if you guys go on Etsy, you can actually buy 3D printed versions of both of those. Or if you have a 3D printer, you could buy the plans to print your own online at home for like $10. You could buy the file to print it at home, or you can buy one and assemble it yourself. Or they're going for like $200-300. So if you guys are into it, you can go and do that. A friend of mine has bought the Wolverine, and that thing looks amazing. He said it was a pain in the ass, though. He had to paint it and glue it together. But if you guys are into that sort of thing, that's a lot of fun, and it looks really cool. So it is classified scale size. I've seen some other ones. You can see some videos. I've seen one of a 3D printed hydrofoil that just looks amazing. So these 3D printed ones that you can get on Etsy are top notch, and they're up there with classified line as far as detail goes. And so I highly recommend, if you want to go that route, to check out Etsy. Hell, it's actually cheaper to buy a 3D printer, buy the file, and then print them yourself at home than it is to just buy the $300 thing there. You can get a 3D printer for like $175 on Amazon, and then, you know, spend $10 on the file and then print one at home and assemble it. So that's actually the route that I'm thinking of going next year. So stay tuned in the future. I might have some 3D printed vehicles for you guys. Who knows? We'll see what Christmas brings for me. All right. So there you go, guys. That's my 2026 G.I. Joe classified wish list. Some new reveals, some new rumors going out. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, please like and subscribe to my channel for more G.I. Joe classified content. And then tune in next week. I'm going to do my 2025 year in review. I'm going to give you my top 5 figures and my bottom 5 figures, and then just kind of discuss the overall, you know, product that they put out for the year. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.